Fantastic Reality presents The Guff, the Salon of Souls and the Apocalypse Sabotage. Is there a limited number of souls that will be born in this world? This is a rabbinical teaching, part of Israeli culture, that opposes the idea that God creates each soul at the time of the conception of a new human being. It is a belief of the Jewish mysticism that is recorded in passages of the Book of Zohar and in volumes of Talmud, which is a collection of commentaries of the rabbis on the Torah that goes back to the time of the captivity of that people in Babylon. The souls of all those who have not yet been born are kept in the Guff, the treasure of souls. This place, called Guff, is like a chamber of soul storage. There, each soul waits for its turn to live on earth. This limited number of souls would have been created on the sixth day of Genesis. When the time comes to go down to this plane of existence, the archangel Gabriel puts his hand on the treasure, and from there he removes the first soul that his hand touches. This soul is given to a designated angel to accompany that soul on the journey of incarnation. When a woman is about to give birth, a sparrow appears near where the expectant mother is, and sings. It is a sign that the time of birth is near. The Guff is located at the top of the heavens, also called Arhava, referring to the tree of life, identified both as a salt pit and as a celestial region. The Guff is close to the throne of glory. In Arhava there are many other divine treasures kept by angels. Treasure of rains, clouds, ice and snow, peace, blessings, treasure of the Orville, the humility, the ladder used by God to resurrect the dead. In the Guff, a dazzling light emanates from the numerous souls that rest, waiting for the time to be born. They are immaculate souls, not corrupted by existence in this world. Some have the modest glow of the flame of a candle, others shine like a torch, and some are as bright as the sun. As soon as the soul leaves the Guff, the hall of souls, it loses its celestial vests and penetrates the body of flesh and blood of the newborn. There is no consensus among the Talmudic writings on the number of souls housed in the Guff. Some say that the hall contains an infinite number of them, others say that this number is finite, determined, and that the Messiah, the Savior, will only return to this world when the Guff, the hall of souls, is completely empty. There is still the belief that from the day the Second Temple of Jerusalem was destroyed, from that day on, no soul was created in the Guff, and that when all the souls that remain there are removed for the carnal experience, when the hall is emptied, the Messiah will return to the great day of the final judgment. This coming, therefore, will not be a period of peace, but rather a period of terrible destruction for humanity. When the last soul descends to the earthly plane, the first child born after this event will be a creature deprived of soul and, therefore, will be a dead nadi. On that day, the sparrows will no longer sing, and this is the eschatological sign, and everyone will know that the end of the world has begun. For some fanatics, enemies of God and humanity, this belief can be a hope, a possibility to avoid the end of times, to rewrite the prophecies of the book of Revelation, to escape the day of the final judgment. For this reason, some groups undertake actions that aim to restrain the birth of babies, so that the hall of souls is never empty. Among these actions are the stimulation of pregnancy, mass sterilization of peoples from all nations, and other practices that will not be mentioned here because we do not have money to pay a lawyer. For those interested, there is a film which plot is based on this Talmudic belief. It is The 70 Sign, from 1988. The title in Portuguese is The Seventh Prophecy, directed by Carl Schultz and starring Demi Moore. But it's not over yet. Let's go now to the Guff, Part 2. Baruch. In addition to the Talmudic writings, there is not much literature about the Hall of Souls or the issue of the number of souls created or to be created. The exception is an apocryphal book called the Apocalypse of Baruch, or Baruch ben Neriah, who was the scribe, disciple, secretary, and friend of the biblical prophet Jeremiah. Between chapters 20 and 22 of his Apocalypse, Baruch, speaking to the Creator, calls for this to put an end to the suffering of humanity and asks the Almighty, "Let me know everything that comes from you, enlighten me, that is what I beg you, until when will the transitory persist? How long is the time full of happiness of the mortals? Until when will those who are going to die continue to be contaminated with so much evil? Order now, in the name of your piety, make all your threats come true, so that those who take your patience for weakness may also experience your strength. Thus, remove the mortality of this mortal nature, also prohibit the angels of death, make visible your majesty known to your divine glory. Let the lower world be sealed, so that Doravant does not receive any more dead, that the chambers of souls return all those who are there locked up. Behold the answer of the Almighty. Why do you worry, then, with that which you do not know? Why do you grieve with that which you do not know? If you have knowledge of the men of today and of those who have already left, I know those who will come. When Adam sinned, attracting death upon his descendants, the great mass of those who were to be born was then counted, and a place was prepared for that crowd, both for the dwelling of the living and for the guard of the dead. While that predetermined number is not fulfilled, the creatures that died will not revive. My spirit is the creator of life, and the underworld will continue to receive the dead. Here we finish, dear netizens. Our brief incursion into the forgotten myth of Guff, today revisited by researchers who investigate the question of the pre-existence of souls. That's all for today. Until the next video.